Hey, what's up guys? It's George, and in this video I want to share some parenting advice. I know I've never done a video like this before, but I was coming to pick my daughter from school, and I was here a little bit early, and was thinking about something I could talk about, and I was like, this is something that I would have loved to have heard from somebody that I followed, having going into being a parent, just because as being a parent, especially as a single parent, which I am, it's not like you get like an instruction workbook telling you exactly what to do, and it can be challenging trying to figure out, how to be an effective parent, especially if you really care and want to, raise good children. Which I take a lot of pride in being a dad. I love being a dad, and I feel that my daughter's been one of my greatest life teachers. It's been such a joy, and I love. I'm just so grateful for the experience of being a parent, and I've read a lot of books on parenting, and I've actually gone to courses and workshops on parenting. And I don't claim to be like an expert parent or dad of the year by any means. I'm certainly not a perfect parent. I got a lot to learn. But I have accumulated some wisdom on parenting throughout the journey, and so that's why I thought I would share some advice, my perspective for others out there that maybe a single parent, or maybe you are a parent still together, or maybe you'd like to have kids someday, and so that's why I want to share some of my what I feel is some of my best advice. So the number one advice that I could give is to just to be present in your children's life. That's so simple, but it's so huge. When you look at statistics and people that are in prison and in jail, and I know that I've heard that like 90% of people that end up in prison didn't have a father figure in their life. And so just by simply being in the child's life, present, that alone, you don't even have to be perfect, but by being present in the child's life is going to make a huge difference, regardless from being perfect. So number one, just be present. Try to be in your child's life as much as you can. And when you're with them, try to really be present. Turning off the phone and just being with them, listening to them, what they have to say. So number one would just be just being present. Number two is leading by example. It's one thing, you can yell at your kid, go clean your room, go clean, why don't you have a clean room? But then if you don't even have a clean room, then how can you expect them to clean their room? If you look at Mother Nature, I love to learn from nature. A lioness, she doesn't tell her cubs what to do. She does what she wants them to do, and she shows them through her actions, and that's how the cubs learn how to behave, through modeling the mother's behavior. And so the most effective way that you can teach your children is by leading by example. If you want them to eat healthy, then you eat healthy. My daughter has no problem eating healthy, and it's because I eat healthy and I live a holistic lifestyle, and so she's never once asked me to go to McDonald's. I've never heard that come, and my daughter's almost 8, so lead by example. Don't just preach your kids what you want them to do, but lead by example. And then number 3, what I would say is teach your children through allegories. And what I mean by that is use bedtime, story time, as a time to teach them powerful life lessons through allegorical stories. So the way the human brain works is there's a great book by Carl Jung, by Man and His Symbols, and it talks about how us humans were ruled so much throughout our lives by symbols. And this goes really deep, which I don't want to go into this video, but symbols and stories and allegories is one of the most powerful ways to teach human beings, and children's love stories. So use that bedtime story time. Tell them your own stories. I like to, I read her books, but I also always like to end the night telling her a story or two of my own, just creative imagination. And I always try to find a story that can relate to something she may be dealing with in her life at this time, and then try to find a way to teach a powerful lesson in the story, to have the characters have to overcome something in the story. And that is one of the most effective way. I learned that actually from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Brilliant, if you've never heard of him, highly recommend check out his videos. Brilliant scientist of the brain and spirituality. And he talks, and that's how I learned this from, was the power of teaching your children through allegories, through bedtime story time. So use bedtime story time as a time to teach them powerful life lessons. And then the last piece of advice, I give a lot of other advice, but I just want to keep this simple. The last one is to have your children do chores without paid. I know that in all the courses and books I've read, one of the most common piece of advice out of everything else is the power of doing chores. For some reason, statistics have shown that children that do chores for some reason end up just doing much better in life. They end up being more effective human beings. And I think there's a lot of different reasons why. It makes them feel as if they're contributing to the family, that they're not just a burden. It teaches them discipline. It teaches them to take care of things. A lot of different reasons why, but one way or another, regardless of what the reason is, statistics have shown, and it doesn't matter what parenting course you take or the parenting book you read, you almost always will find the importance of that stress, of the importance of children doing chores. Doesn't mean they have to be your slaves working all day long, but even just doing simple age-appropriate chores make a profound difference in their life as they get older. And we can't control everything the way our children are gonna end up in life, and so I think a big thing is just to be empathetic and to love your children no matter what, regardless of the choices that they make. This would be a last added bonus piece of advice, which is super important. But your children need to know that you love them no matter what, even if they make bad decisions and they screw up and they do things that disappoint you or whatever. You want to respond with love and empathy. That's the most important, because if they feel like you don't love them when they make a bad decision, they make a mistake, they screw up, then what's going to happen is they're not going to feel like they can trust you as much, and they're going to gravitate towards someone that they feel that they can trust to share and open up with, and that may not be the best source. It may be bad influences of friends and so forth. And so you want your children to feel like they can trust you, and that's why no matter what, you want to respond with love and empathy. Know that it's okay. I don't expect my daughter to be perfect. I expect her to make mistakes and screw ups and so forth. And I know that's just a part of life. She'll do things that I won't like and everything. That's okay. But no matter what her decision is that she decides to do with her life, go to college or whatever she decides, whatever career, even the worst possible career you could think of. No matter what, I will love her with all my heart. My love for her is unconditional. It's not conditional upon what career she decides or what college she decides to go to or who she decides to date or whatever. My love for her is unconditional, and that's what I think one of the. It's hard to say which of these advices is in order, but love your children unconditionally, respond with empathy, understand where they're coming from, and that they're making their choices because they're figuring things out in their life, and forgive them, and appreciate every moment. They're gonna grow up so fast. So even when my daughter's having a fit and I'm upset, I always try to calm myself down and remind myself that this is all gonna go by so fast. Someday I'm gonna miss these temper tantrums and the crying and things like that. So just appreciate every moment of it. And so, and I want to end this by sharing a resource which has been really helpful for me in learning parenting skills, and that is Love and Logic. I've read a lot of different books and looked into a lot of different parenting advice, and Love and Logic to me has been my favorite and the most powerful approach to parenting. I think they just have a brilliant style of parenting that's not what you would think. A lot of their approaches are unconventional and maybe uncomfortable at first, but if you check out their books, look them up online, YouTube, they're all over social media and things like that, and their approach to parenting is absolutely brilliant, and it works and it's effective. They have courses that a lot of times they have free courses you can look online, and that's why I did one of their free courses, and they're just absolutely brilliant. And there's a reason why they've been one of the most popular parenting courses for many decades, because their parenting strategies are effective. So I highly recommend to look up Love and Logic. So I know this was kind of a random video, but I hope this may be helpful even just for one person. And if you, let me know, leave a comment below what your thoughts are on this. And until next time, guys, like usual, let's make it a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's make it a great life. See ya.